tell us where you have the document. And we're going to show that to you today. So, starts off, well, we have the whole pipeline of uploading a document to exploration.
So, whatever you want to memorize, you just open the notepad, write down your document, or you can just simply cut, copy, paste into a notepad, save it, and then you go to recallvr.com and then press on the tab playtesting, and then you can upload your document and then you submit it. Then what happens is that we have AWS as the web server. It just downloads the document into XML parsing format. The XML parsing format is the way we have it to run our Python script. Now, we have a special algorithm that goes through the whole document, and then it does paragraph looping and then extracts keywords, and this keyword extraction is customized by us. So you can either have like for sentences or phrases or like you name it. And then once you have that, based on the number of keywords, we try to get the note points that will be in the procedurally generated environments. So once you submit, if you get a return value 0, that means you have the whole environment ready to be explored in VR. So that's how it goes. He's going to show you how to do it.
So we're going to make a document and then make Jason explore it.
I will.
So we need basically 6 sentences that you guys want. Like anything you want to see.
Denmark is awesome.
Facts, please.
They don't have California Asian fusion food there, right?
Anything else, you can shout out whatever you want to see.
Fight on.
Fight on.
But
Mariachi bands rock.
mariachi bands rock.
The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Apply cold water to burn.
That's from
The cake is alive.
Why is this thing crashing?
Why is
2 zooms in seconds.
it was just up there. All right, we'll make the document. Mariachi. Parties are fun.
I miss Prince.
I miss Prince.
Oh.
Well, that's actually really appropriate one. Because the colors.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Screw Donald Trump.
So let's also go to.
I want to lose control and put the USA Games mailing list.
What happened?
The USA Games mailing list was getting Trump emails.
So let's also go to the internet and find one article that has a sentence that we want to see.
Who's mapped up?
That's okay. Fire.
Oh no. Oh, that's in the low side.
Is it Loki? Is it Loki?
It's pronounced the low side.
Okay, now let's save this document. So let's go over to our website and then upload the document. Wow.
Uh,
This
this, yeah, it's this doc, but I don't see it.
It's right
Just
there.
type it on.
It's right there. Second one, third right here.
We're good to go.
Alright, so we're gonna play through the demo now.
Oh, wait, here we go. So, in this game, you start off as an AI gaining consciousness. We kind of think it'd feel like this. So we wanted to go for a feel of your understanding just what's around you, and for you, you're an AI understanding this digital space, and everything manifests as space to you. If we have Jason look over on the gaze point, you're walking through a field of zeros and ones, essentially. And we'll have him explore the document that we just uploaded. Now, documents for this AI don't look like they're on a screen. They look like they're an actual virtual space. And just by starting a story, we can improve your memory. So, Jerome's
so
going to tell us a little bit
I
about
can tell you the stuff that we've added since midterm. So as you can see, we used to have basically a floor plan that's generated. The text is now displayed on the walls instead of the podiums. It made it much easier for the users to see. That wall piece that's jutting out of the side, that's some of the procedural generation we're doing, where we spawn shapes on the walls, we spawn shapes on the ceiling to make the environment not seem so square all the time. We also added these tunnels. They're different between each node and piece, and so you have this idea of a transition going through. And yeah, so the ceiling, the walls, and so as you can see, sometimes there's no ceiling. You can see this is a really skinny room. And there's like a wall slanted piece and procedural generated couches and ottomans and stuff. And one more thing we added actually was, since we're not able to do any light baking because every time it's going to be different for a different document, we're dynamically doing the lighting. And so we're assigning like groups, and when we make our pathfinding for creating these gaze points, we also intelligently spawn lights so that they turn on and off based on where you are. And I think we have to do a little more on the design.
So the way that we are handling the assets and incorporating that into the procedural generation of the environment is that all of the assets lend themselves to modularity. So you can see with this example right here, it comes flat from the ground and then emerges out of it. So wherever we place this asset, it's going to function and work geometrically with what we've already established. The way that we've created a lot of these assets as well is through parametric modeling techniques, which basically allows us to produce a large batch of a set of geometry. So the examples that you'll see are just one of several hundred geometries that we're pulling from in our giant library to produce this environment. In addition to that, just like you'll see this big green bust of a deer, we have unique assets that are rather large and are appearing only once each time in your procedurally generated environment to ensure that you're getting these check marks as you move throughout the spaces. One of the things we also work a lot on is trying to get the materials, the material library to work really well.
it. Should be purple. It should be a purple room.
Yeah. By placing the text on the wall itself, we're hoping that the information that you are digesting more directly relates with the spaces that you're in, because that's the whole fundamental basis of the method of loci as well. And we have two different kinds of assets that we're bringing in. We have spatial assets and memory assets. And spatial assets are things like the tunnels, the walls, the shapes of the ceilings, those sorts of things. which help define and change the space. And the memory assets are the assets like the deer's head and all those other ones that are helping you compartmentalize the space mentally for you. So the sometimes not very well. So design-wise, that's what we managed to achieve since the last time that we saw this. As well as making the gaze points a lot more noticeable and apparent, and changing the colors of the gaze nodes that are in front of you and behind you so that you're able to orient yourself within the space if you so happen to get disoriented and distracted by the environment.
So one of the things that we implemented too late, we realized how important music is for getting that feeling of immersion, which is kind of the crux of the game, to feel like you're really there, to feel like you're actually in that environment. So we put music in at the last moment, and it really helped a lot. It really helped with our results. And the music, if you know what Vaporwave is, inspired a lot of the aesthetics as well, because it's like a clashing digital aesthetic with different numbers of pixels, different polygons, and that actually works really well on the Samsung Gear. So this game looks better on a lower quality device.
And yeah, basically all the stuff that you see spawning, all the walls and all the shapes and stuff, we have a fully functional save load working. So for this document, you can reopen and you'll always have the same environment for that particular document.
But now before Jason is about to initiate recall, what's going to tell us about it?
Yeah. So one final thing that was added is final testing. So now that he's seen all 6 elements, he's about to go to the test scene that's going to record his speech. There's going to be a console that says, what did you see at position 1? What did you see at position 2? In between, there's going to be 5 seconds that he has to talk, and it's going to record whatever he says. And on the left-hand side, there's going to be, if he gets it right, it's going to be green. It's going to say what he said and what should have been said. And if he gets it wrong, then it's going to be red with what he said and what should have been said. Additionally, there's going to be an accuracy that we implemented. It's about 40% that compares what should have been said with what he said. And that's for if there are people with accents or maybe foreign people who try to use this. They don't have to get it exactly right, they just have to get it right enough. So anytime you're ready, you can start.
So Jason got 3 to 6.
Yep, and so that's the end of our current demo.
What we want to implement in the future is to reinforce the method of loci. We want to have that aspect, that final game, in the actual level that you just explored. So you'd be walking from node point to node point, and it would tell you, what did you see? And you'd actually be at the first point. And then you can say, that mark is awesome.
Yeah, I kind of said it too late, so I would have gone with it. So I can
It's sort of a fact.
Facts. Yeah. And other parts of the future scope. We just want to iterate on the aesthetic a little bit more.
So what we're going to do moving forward to ensure that the environments that you're experiencing are in fact genuinely memorable, but at the same time are different from each other, we're going to incorporate procedural generation with curated design. So we will have our artist team curate certain locations, which can then be inputted into the game. So that the game is not simply creating locations that we're populating with stuff, but the game is providing a framework for us to implement the locations that the artists are creating. And I think this will really make the game feel a lot more memorable and engaging for the players. And this will all be done with the code that we've already established, so hopefully we're not going to be kind of making that many drastic engineering changes, and we're just going to work with what we have to make these awesome things happen. Questions?
I had a couple. So first on your idea of music, I do think that really helps sort of distinguish stuff. But is it going to be just generally music played throughout, or are you going to try to do different types of music in different sections? Because I don't know if that would help you recall or if that would hurt.
It's more important to make you feel like you're not sitting in a chair in real life.
Right.
So it doesn't matter nearly as much that the music is about what you're reading or is even related to you transitioning to the next room. You can just make a radio and with that.
There were like ideas tossed around where you know how Ocarina of Time has you remember the songs, like every bass point plays a note kind of thing. So we might.
Of course, directional audio on key parts.
My second question, you had like a bullet point about it. So you're talking about expecting to like rerun through the level again?
Yeah.
Is that for the quiz, or is that? Okay, because I think it would definitely help. Even if you just like showed screenshots of the rooms associated with certain things, that might help jog people's memory of like I went to this area. So
yeah, the scope we dropped for this was we actually wanted a mini game model kind of thing where you go through it over and over, and every time you're doing something new with the keyword. Right now we're not using the keyword obviously for like a lot. So we want to do something with the keyword. We want to do that test. Like we want iteration.
So you're saying that you want to have this on kind of like low-res devices like phones or something like that. Would you implement the microphone from a phone to give the feedback at the end?
It works. Yeah, it works.
It's just that we can't show it on the screen if we use the phone, so that's why we're using this.
Two questions. The first one is, so I noticed you have the thing that kind of comes out of the floor. Is there, and you had most of the prop assets, so like the antlers and stuff like that was on the wall. Is there any reason why you're not mixing that up? So you're putting like the antlers on the ceiling and have something come out of the wall?
The reason that that it looks the way it is now is because we were doing a lot of exploring with how to use the code that we have to help justify where things are going to be spawned. And what we were finding is if we just don't have a hierarchy or a logic for where the things are going to be located, instead of differentiating these different locations, it just dissolves into like kind of hierarchy-less noise. And a lot of the procedurally generated stuff in VR that we were looking at, which was Space Waves, I think was one of those, just becomes noise. So in trying to introduce some sort of rule set, we're hoping that introduces some order to our website.
That was the kind of the first question. The second question was, so the first one, fact, that mark is awesome. As far as I can see, the only reason why it failed was because he didn't say fact first, but he still got the majority of the message, right? Is there?
It actually only captured Denmark. Yeah. Like it didn't even capture his awesome. So we have a fluctuating percentage. Right now it's at 40%. You have to get 40% of it right. So we have a number.
So that's fact and it's awesome.
Right now, do you have any methodology for capturing metrics on the assessment? And, well, do you have, two-part question, do you have it? Or?
Right now we don't.
Okay, so follow-up question is, clearly the success of recall is based upon your ability to get the absolute highest recall ability highest percentage of recall for any user, regardless of the topic. So in my mind, it would be moving forward. One of the things that is mission critical for the project is to create an in-game analytics that will report back by internet connection to a database. And that database is going to be your gold. That's going to be your proof that the dogs are eating the dog food. So I recommend that at the conclusion, it's something that was not in the project scope, but I can see that this project will have a life beyond AGP, and that's one of the most important things I think you should look at.
I just wanted to say I really like seeing the evolution of recall, and like what iteration is this, like 3, 4?
Is it like 3.5?
Okay. Yeah. And I like the touch with the gaze points, how the backside now is a different color. Like I think that's a nice touch that makes a big difference.
Just sort of going back to some of what Anders was saying with regards to like how sort of replacement of items. Like when the deer head appeared, I actually didn't know it was a deer head. I'm not sure. I think part of it might have been because the coloring, it was all one color and it's hard to tell. And also because it was like turned sideways, it also didn't help. So I think whether it's sort of an artistic reason like why it's colored a certain way, I think it would help to make it a bit more familiar so it does not dissolve like the damage that you were saying.
Yeah, moving forward, one of the things that we found is we went in kind of this abstract route for a little while, and I think that was beneficial in helping us understand where we wanted to go aesthetically. But as far as helping people feel engaged with the world, we're realizing, and this is something that other people that have worked on VR games as well have found, is that you need a good balance between the abstract and the real. And so even the kind of introduction of that deer head and those sorts of things, we actually added that in relatively soon because we found that without stuff like that, people just want to like, see this nonsense. So it makes sense.
Any more questions?
Let's recall.
Thank you.